Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE SmackDown, episode 1057, I think it is. And no 205 Live this week. I'm pretty disappointed about that. Yeah, it's a real bummer that they didn't do an episode this week. Instead, we ended SmackDown with some guys making fun of Baron Corbin. And that was the end of the night. What happened before that was really cool. So it wasn't all a disappointment, but 205 Live not happening yet again on a SmackDown that I'm attending. And the most exciting thing about attending a SmackDown is the 205 Live that takes place after it, usually. So, yeah, that's the week's off to the weekend is off to an okay start. The episode SmackDown was pretty good. I did enjoy it. An amazing seat. I did the travel package and it worked out extremely well. It was the best seat I've had for a show yet. If you're looking for me in this episode of SmackDown, I am in a black shirt with white and green design on it. Shotzi Blackheart, her green helmet shirt design, and I'm like a little bit off to the right from center, in the first row of the risers, or the lower bowl, whatever you call that. So it was a great seat, and I have the same seat the next 3 nights. So if you want to look for me there, I'm planning on wearing a blue Stallion Battalion shirt for TakeOver Wargames, and then probably either the TakeOver Wargames for this year shirt, because I'm going to pick that up tomorrow night. They did not have that for sale tonight. Or I might be wearing, I will probably be wearing that on Sunday for Survivor Series. But otherwise, I might be wearing my Undisputed Gold shirt. And then Monday night, what do I have? I packed. I'll be wearing a red Ronda Rousey arm bar shirt. That was a part of the loot crates. So if you want to keep an eye out, that's where you can see me, how you can see me in there. This was a really cool spot to be in because at one point Raw invaded, the Raw men's roster invaded, and they came down the ramp and then went right across where I was sitting. I checked out the clip on YouTube, and it doesn't look like they used that angle where I would have been visible. They were a little bit further down, but it was really exciting. I got some video of all those guys walking past. So let's talk about what actually happened on this show. We had a dark match where Cesaro fought Apollo Crews, and Cesaro won. That was a pretty fun match. Then we had Team SmackDown, the women's Team SmackDown. After a little bit of a rally, I guess a rally is the right term for that. Team SmackDown, all of them getting together at the top of the show. It's like we're opening our doors, we're welcoming them so that we can beat them up. So they open the door, and nobody actually uses that door until much later in the show. But the women's Survivor Series team, the SmackDown Women's Survivor Series team, goes out to the ring and issues a challenge, and that challenge is met by the Raw Women's team and then the NXT Women's team, and it's very exciting that this confirms who is on that team. It is the same as Rhea's team for War Games, with the addition. Okay, so it's Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Mia Yim and Tegan Knox, and they need a fifth member, and that fifth member, unfortunately, isn't Dakota Kai. That would have been nice, but it is Toni Storm. So if it was going to be anybody besides Dakota Kai, I'm pretty happy that it's Toni. So it was awesome to see her there on SmackDown. And so then we had a captain's match, triple threat between Charlotte, captain of Team Raw, Sasha Banks, captain of Team SmackDown, and Rhea Ripley, captain of Team NXT. Rhea is the captain of both War Games and Survivor Series. So well done. Anyway, what happened? There's some really cool stuff in this match. I recommend checking it out. But Rhea Ripley took advantage and snuck in there. This is really cool. I thought it was great. So Charlotte was getting the figure eights locked in on Sasha Banks, and Rhea slipped in there underneath the arched back of Charlotte and turned it into a roll-up pin situation, and she got the win like that. I don't think I've ever seen that happen to Charlotte before. I thought it was really cool. So she gets the heck out of there. Rhea does. And Team SmackDown and Team Raw, they go at it, and Team NXT is just up at the top of the ramp, just laughing at them, enjoying them beating the crap out of each other. So that was really cool. That was probably my favorite part of the whole show. Then we got presented, Shinsuke Nakamura got presented a gift from Sami Zayn. He got a new Intercontinental Championship belt. It's a brand new design. It's black leather and a gold plates all over it, and it has name side plates. I think it looks pretty cool. It does look more like it is an NXT title, but I think that's fine. It still looks really nice. Whereas the Intercontinental Championship is the nicest looking belt, so to replace it is before other belts that could need some replacing. Slightly disappointing, but this is a really good design, and I like it. So then we had, we had a 4-on-4 tag team match because the Undisputed Era came out to confront the Shinsuke and Sami Zayn because they couldn't remember Roderick Strong's name and all of that, so they came out to introduce themselves. So then the New Day came out, challenged the Undisputed Era, and they brought in some help, heavy machinery. So they had a 4-on-4 tag team match, New Day plus the heavy machinery versus the Undisputed Era. And man, all these guys doing so much work this week. Roderick arguably has the lightest load because he didn't have an actual match on Wednesday, but he still got beat up a little bit. I don't think anybody else has had as many matches as Undisputed Era has. But it was some fun. Roderick got the win after he pinned Tucker. And then Roderick and Shinsuke Nakamura, because the whole match, Shinsuke and Sami Zayn were at the top of the ramp watching, probably making fun of everybody and all of that. But afterwards, Roderick and Nakamura are fighting each other, and then AJ Styles comes out and attacks them, and that's a nice little preview for Sunday. That match is going to be amazing. I think that's going to be the best match of the night. Daniel Bryan, he summons The Fiend, but instead he summons The Miz. And so they have a match, The Miz versus Daniel Bryan. It is a no contest because, or I guess it might have been a disqualification, but towards the end, Bryan was about to win, probably, but The Fiend appeared and got Daniel Bryan with the mandible claw. So we'll see what happens next there. Then Bayley attacked Shayna after Shayna came out to challenge her. I thought maybe that Becky would show up as well, but I guess she showed up enough on Wednesday night. at NXT. He doesn't have to bother coming to SmackDown. And then our main event, which was Roman Reigns, Shorty G, and Ali, Mustafa Ali, he has his name back, versus Chad Gable lost his name so that Mustafa Ali could get his first name back, versus King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, and what's his name, the Robert Roode fellow. This match, what happened in this match? There's some good stuff going on in here. I was enjoying it. I was getting all on board rooting for Mustafa Ali. He's from Chicago, so the crowd was really getting behind him, so that was nice. And there's some support for Shorty G as well. But the invasion, full-on invasion from first Raw, they came down the steps near where I was and then went across right in front of where I was sitting. So that was really cool. I just was like kind of, I had my phone videoing with one hand, and I was like kind of doing on the barrier with my other hand clapping for him. So yeah, that was really cool. And then the NXT came down that ramp that they left the door open for them with a I guess it was a tank. Maybe not really a tank. Did it have a turret on it? It might have just been a truck. I don't know. But they all came down the ramp. Chaos ensued. We got some great stuff with Keith Lee doing a bunch of stuff, and there was a lot going on, and I really enjoyed that. We ended up with Baron Corbin. I don't know where the broadcast actually ended, but Baron Corbin ended up being the last one in the ring, and then Road Dogg, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels were there, and then they made fun of, or they said they wanted to have Baron Corbin join them, and they made fun of him and beat him up, and yeah, we got that instead of an episode of 205 Live. So I'm sure. I mean, it was entertaining, but not more entertaining than cruiserweights kicking ass like they always do. So yeah, I'm coming back around to being bummed out about this show. But I'm really, really looking forward to War Games. I just saw that they announced that Angel Garza will face Isaiah Swerve Scott on the kickoff show tomorrow. So that should be pretty awesome. And I hope maybe they'll add a cruiserweight title match on the actual show. That would be awesome. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just really bummed about no 205 Live. I watched some other stuff. I'll record some episodes about these tomorrow during the day. This week, Survivor. Again, I forgot to bring my notes with me. I took notes the whole episode, and then I didn't even take a picture of them or whatever. But and The Mandalorian episode 3. So stay tuned for my thoughts on all of those. And then, of course, up next is War Games. I suppose I could talk predictions real quick here. Let's see what's going on in War Games 2019. Come on, type better. Okay, War Games 2019. I think Angel Garza will win the kickoff show match. Let's see. Oh, it's not on the Wikipedia page yet. I'm rooting for Killian Dane to defeat Pete Dunne and Damian Priest so that he can have a match against Adam Cole for the NXT Championship on Sunday. I want Finn Balor. I want Finn Balor to defeat Matt Riddle, but I will be rooting for Matt Riddle and wearing his shirt and all that. Then we have War Games, Undisputed Era versus Team Ciampa with Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, and Dominic Dijakovic, and it's a be announced competitor. I think that Ciampa's team has got to win that. But Undisputed Era has the advantage, so I think it really depends on who that fourth person... Like pound for pound, Team Ciampa is already outweighs them just with the three of them. So we'll see what happens with that. It would be hilarious if it's another gigantic dude like Walter. That would be crazy. But anyway, my number one pick for that surprise fourth entrant is John Morrison, who's been rumored to be maybe it's confirmed that he's back with WWE now. I think that would be pretty cool. But otherwise, Velveteen Dream, if he's able to get back into action, that'd be great. And maybe a Tyler Bate, maybe Walter. I don't see Walter really siding with those guys though, but you never know. And those are really the only guys I could think. Trent Seven could be in there too, but we'll see. It was cool to see Tyler Bate and Walter, I noticed, were in the NXT Invasion tonight. I didn't catch any other guys other than the ones we've been seeing a lot of anyway. And then we have the women's War Game match. I hope this is on last. It would be awesome if this is the main event. Team Ripley, Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, and Mia Yim versus Team Baszler, Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and Kaylee Ray. I hate to say it, I think Team Baszler is going to win this. They have that outside factor, the extra factor of Jessica and Mary, Marina and Jessamine. So I think that could make the difference. But it could also just be a non-factor. If they just wipe them out. I could see somebody just wiping them out before they enter the ring, just like go after them with some weapons and just totally destroy them. And that would be, I think that's what they need to do. Although, who has the advantage here? Yeah, the women, the Team Baszler has the advantage for this match. So the heels have the advantage in both matches. We'll see how that turns out. So yeah, those are my somewhat predictions or hopes for War Games. And that about does it. I think I'm going to see some movies during the day tomorrow. There are meet and greets, but otherwise there's nothing to do wrestling-wise. Excuse me. Or I'll just, sleep in. Yeah, so there might be some movie reviews before the War Games episode. And definitely I'll be talking about this week's Survivor and Mandalorian before War Games. Stay tuned for all of that. Let me know what you thought of this episode of SmackDown by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe out there in all the infinite multiverses, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.